Oh, how many puffs have you taken?
Yeah. Here.
I can hit it now?
You can hit it.
So much smoke.
That's what I needed.
It's a big wick.
What'd you call me?
That is a big wick.
Yeah. Why don't you trim it down a bit?
You know, I don't got time for shit like that.
Men don't trim shit.
I can shave my pubes in like fucking 2 months. I
Yeah.
think I'm around here
So I
trimming
guess
wicks.
you're not going to trim a camel. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you should probably get rid of this. Is it yours?
Nope. That's a different
We
shape.
like the Bic. Shouts out Bic. Thanks for
Sponsoring the video?
not sponsoring our video.
How much you got in there?
Actually, I rated it of Loonies like a month ago. So, because my laundry machine only takes Loonies. So I want to say there's a $5 bill in there, I know that.
Yeah.
So, I want to say just shy of $15.
I fucked up and didn't wear a hat.
Why? There's hats.
It's just
in my
not.
room.
Is there really?
Yeah. You leave with one. It's in my closet, the one that's open, around my bed.
He feels left out. Without a hat.
It's kind of spastic. So, new sponsor.
Yeah, new sponsor, dude. Yeah.
That's kind of like, I was thinking of that a little while ago.
Yeah.
Just because but it was like an easy way out thing for me. Because I hadn't my relationship with my sponsor right now is non-existent.
Oh.
But I talked to him.
Okay. Yeah.
Like we haven't been talking at all. So I talked to him at the meeting. I was like, let's get some to. I kind of was just like, oh, this is not working. I'll just throw this out right now. Instead of being like, no, let's just try to fix this. Instead of just like throwing it in the garbage.
Yeah.
So, but what made you be like, no, need sponsor?
He was never around. I tried to meet up with him numerous times. He works out of town on the weekends, and he just bought a house. And when he's in town, he's working like all the time too. And he's always like a phone call away. You know, he always answers my calls and talks to me even when he's working. But I need that human contact with a sponsor, right? It's really important, especially going over the steps.
I'll give you some human contact.
Not that kind. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that then. What do we need from a sponsor?
Clint needs human contact.
I need human contacts with a sponsor.
Like you tried to, like you were like, so what step you on? 1?
Step 1, yeah.
Yeah. So you were like, yo, I'm done step 1, let's go over it. And he was like...
Well, no, I'm not done yet, but like I wanted to meet up and talk about step 1 and like where I'm at and stuff like that. And you know, he tried. You know, he tried a couple times to meet for breakfast and shit, but it just never worked out. He was always out of town or doing something else. And there was this other guy where I see a couple of his sponsees are doing good. And
this other guy, you already got a new...
Yeah. I asked this new guy before I fired my last one just to make sure I wasn't without one, right?
You started the new relationship before you ended the previous.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, is that okay?
Don't hate the play, I hate the game.
I feel like in sponsorship world, that's okay.
Yeah.
It is completely okay. They actually...
Because I didn't want to be without one.
Really?
And that was a bit of a reservation I had because I could have gone on without a sponsor that was ever around and I wouldn't have been as accountable and I wouldn't have been able to work on some shit and that would have been perfect. You know, that would have been a perfect way to set myself up for a relapse.
Yeah.
Or it's just not, you're just being spiritually sick and being sober, right? It's not good either. So, you know, I took the initiative and talked to him and, you know, it was, I didn't want to do it because he was a good guy and, you know, but he obviously didn't take it personally and he was glad that, you know, I stepped up and told him.
Was it a long conversation?
I'm sorry, man.
It was about 10 minutes.
Yeah?
It was during while I was at work, so it could have been longer, but yeah, 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Was it awkward?
It was in the beginning until he said he totally understands and, you know, yeah.
So this other new guy, new meat,
Yeah, new meat, baby. Yeah, new meat.
How's that? Have you how long you've been?
Oh, this was just last
playing
night.
2 different guys.
Oh, this was just last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I asked him during the day, messaged me back at night, and told me he was willing if I was willing to do the work. So
That's good. How many sponsors have you been through, Josh?
I've been through 3 sponsors in this past year.
3.
Yeah, availability was an issue.
So it's a pretty big commitment.
It is a big commitment.
Yeah, it's like a fucking marriage. That's the rest of your life you're looking at, man.
And I know I'm going to have to do more work with this guy. I'm going to have to step up to the plate. I've been just kind of floundering and not doing much step work because he's never around. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Like he's this new guy's
and he's, yeah, and I see him more often too. You know, so that holds me more accountable. Like, this last guy, I barely saw him. I think I've seen him once in a month. Right? Nice. So, yeah. Yeah.
What did you do? Stick your tongue out for that one?
It was a big step for me for taking the initiative and looking for something better and doing something about it and wanting something better and knowing that's best for me instead of just being satisfied with the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's all I'm gonna get back, man. And putting in that little bit of extra effort fucking goes a long way.
You know what I got to the conclusion of?
What?
I needed to find someone in the rooms that I actually thought their life was attractive to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you found? That's the 3rd person you found?
That is the 4th person I found. 3 of them. One of them was unavailable. He was a really great guy, working in recovery, 20 years clean.
Yeah. Second
guy was just not around. Couldn't really get a hold of him on the phone. Didn't really show up to meetings. It was okay, move on. Get the next guy. And it's it was good, but he really didn't. He wasn't really practicing recovery. He was doing service and stuff like that, but he didn't really have a really good knowledge of the steps. He wasn't doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then ended up turning into this guy's acting out in some defects that I don't really act out in. Started seeing all that stuff, and I'm do I really want this guy rubbing off on me in my recovery? It's you want someone that you're going to try and be as close to, if not better than.
Mm.
Yeah. And then, kind of felt like I kind of surpassed him in that sense. And then he brought up some really private stuff in the middle of something, me talking about something that he was doing out of care and concern in the middle of a public place. And I was I don't really jive with this. So I moved on in the middle of my step 4 and found somebody that's 20 years clean, has a 6-figure a year job, has similar spirituality. You can tell they're working in recovery, doing their recovery, in all of their interactions with people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and people, and it ended up being I asked for suggestions before I decided to actually select that guy. So I knew that guy was going to be my sponsor.
Because you asked for suggestions?
I asked for suggestions. So people kind of pointed me in the right direction. People were hey, you should select that guy. I was already thinking about it in the beginning when I got my home group. I was man, I should ask this guy to be my sponsor. But then I was it's probably way out of my league.
That's so funny. I've had those thoughts too. I wish I could have that sponsor, but it's such a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of looking for a sponsor, is someone who's got something that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
No homo.
No homo.
No homo.
Except he needs human affection.
Yeah.
From a sponsor.
Yeah. Were those conversations hard that you had?
With the new sponsor?
Going on. I mean, yeah.
Going off? No. People were super receptive to that. It's I understand that you need somebody that's more available to you at, I can call my sponsor whenever I want.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to meet up with, I see him at meetings all the time. If I, need to see him, I just go to a meeting and see him at the meeting. It doesn't have to be this whole thing where you're buddies with your sponsor, you're hanging out all the time. It's just someone that's mentoring you through the steps and kind of trying to make you figure out whether your thinking is real or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think I've gone over this before about how emotions trigger feelings and those feelings trigger thoughts, and you think that you need to act on certain feelings when you really don't.
Mm-hmm. So it's like all business with your new sponsor.
Yeah, straight up. He's like high up there in his industry, and his time is very valuable. So I value his time,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
And everything that he teaches me, I like practice with other people.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of jealous right now.
It's the keys to success, man. I'm not saying that anybody's sponsor is bad. It's just like mine's really good.
Yeah. That's good. That's cool.
I've never had good. I've always had trouble with sponsors. I've never had one that I've clicked with.
It's because you don't click with yourself, man.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
yeah. It's hard to find someone that's available and knows the steps. You know.
So true. People are so fucking busy
Yeah.
nowadays. It's
Or they have
like,
too many sponsors, or fucking their life is fucking busy.
yeah, even when I think about it now, it's like,
I have a hard time finding time. I'm just not doing that much.
yeah.
You know, I'm working, going to school.
Like if
School's
someone
once
was
a
like,
week.
hey, sponsor me, which I am in no position to do at all. I haven't
Mhm.
done a set of steps, but
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know, buddy. I'm pretty fucking busy.
I've had
Yeah.
sponsors that are like so busy that they need to like they can't even call me.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like doing all the shit, and they're like, I can only meet up with you like once a month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not enough. Not for me.
I like to see him at least once a week
Mm-hmm.
outside of the home group.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My sponsor is part of my home group. Is that true for you guys too?
My sponsor was part of my home group, but now they're part of another one. Yeah.
No, not my home group, but that's the VRC where I do the chairing. He
Nice.
goes there,
Okay, that's good.
yeah. So I see him every week anyways.
Yeah, sponsorship's hard.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've been noticing that I've had a lot easier time with in the last like 3 days is having hard conversations. I feel like because something with me, it's like in the last 3 days, I've been realizing that like I can't just try to be like a nice guy all the time. Like and be like, oh, I'm just like, I don't know. It seems like a lot of things in this program drive you towards like being like spiritual, growing spiritually, it should. But
Like
it's
drawing boundaries is a big one.
yeah, drawing boundaries, like being able to say like
Yeah.
no, and being able to be like, I'm angry with you
And
right
feel
now.
pretty confident with that, like that's how you're feeling, and that's
Yeah.
what you need right now.
Yeah, but it's like I would always like before I would always be like, oh, I'm just gonna like say what I want, respond to this person in the way that like I think they want me to respond, so the conversation goes as easy as it can. And now I'm just like, I'm just gonna say what I think.
Yeah,
and if I'm angry, I'm
should.
gonna express that anger. And,
Yeah. Yeah, you
know,
should.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like one of the things, like one of the biggest lying mechanisms that I developed in my childhood and my addiction was that like when someone says something to me, my mind will think about all the different responses and think about which one they want to hear, and then it'll like censor myself and filter out, and then be like, okay, I know you are like this, like, oh, you're a literal person like this, so I'm gonna like respond a response that you're gonna like, or oh, you're this type of thinker, I'm gonna like respond just how I want you, you see me in the best light.
Right.
Because I'm like so insecure that I don't want them to be like, oh, this guy is.
But have you ever experienced relief as a result of saying exactly
It's
what you need to
freeing,
say?
man. It's freedom. You know, it can either push people away or draw them to you, and at least like people know where you stand. And
I've noticed
fucking dude.
being able to draw those like definitive boundaries is like it makes people respect you, whether they decide not to like you or they do like you, but they do respect you.
Mhm.
That's just how it is. Like I was overdoing it at the Vancouver Recovery Club, and
Yeah.
I was like, I know you guys are struggling, but I can't struggle with you, and I feel like my major contribution is already being done. Like I throw the dances,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like that's a big chunk
You
of
got a lot
change.
fundraising, yeah.
We've already made like $300 from tickets, which is 81 people.
Cool.
Yeah, $400. Speaking of which, it's on Friday. You should show up.
Yeah.
I hope they don't lose their funding. Like, that's been a big.
So what is that about? Like, like the government funds it?
The city funds the Vancouver Recovery Club, and they're at risk of losing their funding after 20 years.
And I'll tell you why.
Oh, you know why?
Their papers aren't in order. They haven't provided proper financial papers. And they took the money away because they've been warned about it before, even after they garnished $15,000 off of that money. Also, the $20,000 only is responsible for 4% of the running costs of the VRC. So what's that saying?
So who
You
pays
just
the
finding
VRC?
this out?
I just found this out yesterday on Global News.
So who pays for the what? It's on Global News?
Yeah, they made an article about it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
I like when I'm like, oh, it's on the news, but like nobody
but you know that when the government has, you know, it's like a bunch of
there's like stupid dog stories on the news.
So they're not trying to like gentrify the neighborhood. They're just trying to like make sure that all the papers are in order. Obviously, whoever's doing the books hasn't been doing it properly.
So this is all comes down to the books not being done properly.
Yes.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm
All
not.
that fucking hard work I put in, and you know, it's because here I think it's the government's fault. They're trying to take away, you know, money from a good place. But
That's what I was thinking too. 'Cause
But
it's
is
like,
it really a bad place?
no,
Right.
Yeah, but it's like the government to take money away from like the Vancouver Recovery
Mm.
Club seems totally like against all the things that are happening in government right now. Like I was like, really, they're taking money away from the
But
Recovery
it's
Club?
also a municipal government, right? So it's not actually like the big dick government's being like, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the city.
And also these people have like massive educations in like economic science, social sciences, and like, you know, they're well educated. They know what they're doing. They honestly, they wouldn't be there if they didn't follow the rules and regulations of society.
Who?
People in the government.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Fucking
absolutely.
so
They
Incompetent. Government people
they
are
are so
garbage.
incompetent, and they're nothing but scandalous. Fucking.
You really think that about the mayor?
Yeah, who doesn't?
I haven't met there, but like
Educate
I know
yourselves.
people that work. I know
Kennedy Stewart. He's the newest mayor. The last one was like major into like green stuff.
What's his name? What's the last one's name?
I can't remember.
I know some people that have worked in government, and it's corrupt, man.
I've worked
It's
in
fucking
government.
corrupt. It's all payoffs.
Oh, I have, and yeah.
I used to be a
corrupt.
federal booby
Yeah.
inspector.
It's not like corrupt, but it's like so ossified,
lobbying.
and there's so much sludge, and there's so
Mm-hmm.
much bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone blames the bureaucracy, but then you look at them and you're like, no, you are the bureaucracy that you go complain about.
Yeah.
But
But-
so if only 20 grand is getting taken away,
And
that's 4% of the cost. Who pays for the VRC?
They don't. Nobody donates. Somebody actually said that they'd cover the cost of the grant over the phone. We should probably get rid of that, but
So
Whatever.
and like most of it's like Safe Ride is going to stay open, Outreach is going to stay open. The only difference that's going to happen is that they shut down at nighttime,
Yeah.
which means they're not letting people in who don't want to do recovery.
No, not necessarily.
A lot of the people that come in at nighttime are not there to stay clean.
Yeah, but I'm sure there has been people that have. Been.
Sure, I believe that, but
Right.
like at the same time, like working the night shift personally. Also, working
yeah, what's the
alone.
next?
Yeah, you work on shift. You
Work-
know firsthand.
Working alone is not at all fun.
Give us like a skinny on like what the night shift's
Mhm.
like there.
It's like daytime except dark.
Go on.
Like weird, like you get some strange people. You get the prostitutes coming from Kingsway. You got random people coming in getting high.
In the bath, you do bathroom.
In the bathroom.
checks.
Oh yeah, I've had guys come in and I'm like, okay, time to go. You can't sleep in here, and they're like losing their shit.
Yeah.
Like they go out, you
Yeah.
start hearing them throwing shit around, screaming.
Yeah.
I've been in there by myself, and people are like fucking kicking the door in and stuff like that. Like you look at the door now, it's like got a big bow in it. Because people just like kick the shit out of it, so it's not really safe. Like especially with one person, I'm not even allowed to go outside. Yeah.
Weird.
Seeing a different light on this.
Mm-hmm.
So what? It's donations then? That run the VRC?
No donations. I don't like. I guess from like
Just fees from the meetings?
meetings. 7th. You got
Safe Ride pays.
Safe Ride. I don't know about Outreach.
I think they're funded through Portland.
They might even be separate accounts that just run into there. And then what else? Canteen, but I don't know
That's nothing.
how much they're upselling from
They're
that.
losing money.
Then they're getting like
7th is pulling in like that can't be that much.
they're getting like $600 a month from the dances that I'm doing. I want to do like
There's only been one dance so far.
Yeah, but like they got
$20,000
$600.
is 4%. How much is this a yearly fee?
Yeah, where the fuck is all the money coming from?
Yeah, there's no way 7th.
It's a conspiracy, bro.
That's insane.
Some shit's been being thrown around by like people that have been around the program for a long time.
Yeah.
That like people are not doing legit things
With the money?
with the money.
Oh. Well, that seems to be a trend
Yeah.
that happens always.
There needs to be accountability.
Just because people are sober doesn't mean that they're acting like completely spiritual, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of those people have done a lot of work on their lives to not be the same people they were in their addiction. So you don't know their backstory. They could have been like serious gangsters, man. Like,
Yeah.
Or it's just like when you get to the top like that, it's just easy to skim a few
Mhm.
dollars here, and then you
It
do
happens,
it,
man.
and you get
Absolutely.
away with
It
it, and you do
happens.
it again. And, oh, they didn't notice that.
Yeah, who's in charge of the books?
And,
right?
yeah, whoever that
The
guy
skim is a classic thing in Vancouver bars and shit, right?
Oh yeah.
They just skim off the top of whatever they sell off the draft, and then because there's always going to be extra liquid in the container. Also, they're taking into account how much liquid they're spilling, so they just skim that off.
Mm.
At the bar,
Yeah,
like at the clubs where you order drinks.
yeah. So what they'll do is they'll like under pour you or something like that,
Yeah.
and then they'll skim off whatever's left over.
I see what you mean. Yeah, like when you get into position to manage money, it just seems that it's so often that it gets mismanaged.
Mm-hmm. It's like
Yeah.
people in the pursuit of money and power will always.
I'm glad you said that.
Something.
Yeah.
Brain fart.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
mean,
Interesting.
when I ran a company for a short time, I
Mm.
definitely fucking
Did you know?
ran it into the dust
Mm-hmm.
and like didn't pay like any of my taxes.
I broke your vaporizer.
I knew you would. It's okay.
Oh.
Mm.
This is why Josh can't have nice things.
I'm nicking out right now, man. What else are we gonna talk about?
Talk about whatever you want. You nicking out?
Yeah, let's talk about this. I went out and I got the Nicorette inhalers today. I'm done
did you?
fucking buying cigarettes.
So
Okay, I'm done smoking.
you're done smoking.
Yeah.
But I love cigarettes. I've been done smoking for a long time.
It's fucking rough, man. Like, I still crave cigarettes, even with all that Nick juice flowing through my veins, man. You know,
Yeah,
I still crave cigarettes and I fucking hate it.
Because your brain's accustomed to doing the cigarettes.
I
for
love
so
tobacco. I just love tobacco. Period. I love smoking tobacco.
No, you don't. You tell
I do.
yourself that.
I hate
part.
tobacco.
It's like
Cigars, cigarettes, I fucking...
it's like saying
chewing
I
tobacco.
love drugs, but the party was over a long time ago.
No, I really do enjoy smoking.
Yeah, me too.
And just like chewing tobacco. I love tobacco.
Yeah, you do some dip? Nice. What was
Okay.
your dip of choice?
Fuck. Original.
Buddy, I was all in
Skull?
the
Yeah,
Long
Skull.
cut?
I think
winter
I like
green,
what
man.
flavor,
Winter
yeah.
green.
Winter green,
I like
exactly.
that. Yeah. Cool.
Grizzly.
Mm.
Grizzly Winto
Nice.
was my favorite.
Nice. Yeah. So it got expensive.
Oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah, I remember it used to be like
You gotta get logs.
It feels
from US.
dirty too. Like
Feels dirty.
somehow
You're
Yes.
loaded.
packing a dip in your mouth is like feels even
Yeah.
dirtier than
Most of the
smoking a
girls aren't down
cigarette,
with that.
which is a dirty thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about cigars?
Cigars are like kind of classy,
Yeah, I really like cigars.
Yeah.
although I do not like them at all. Every time I've hit a cigar, I'm like, I'm done with this.
You gotta get a
Sick.
really good cigar though. I bought like a $30 cigar, and that was the best I've ever had.
Yeah, I just had a Cuban the other day from Sean. Yeah. It's good.
It smelled like
Love cigars.
tobacco.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Dip used to make me sick, but I still loved it. I used to like pack a big enough dip, so I was like just on the verge of like
Mm.
being like, okay, this is too much.
Wow.
That would be my ideal dip where I'm like, okay, for a couple seconds I'm like, whoa, it's too much.
I guess
and
you're
then
buzzing.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like back of the seat of a truck,
Mm-hmm.
just like driving down a windy road.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Fighting yourself in your head. I used to do that all the time, man, when I firefight up north.
Oh, yeah.
So I love just packing dips. Used to just pack dips because there was like 12, 16-hour days, and it's just like, you just want something to break up the day a bit.
What's the most dip you've ever had?
In a single dip? Oh. Like,
in a day.
still not a lot. I want to say like 6 dips, like baby dips.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like I wasn't a hardcore.
I met guys that would do like fucking just like whole bottom lip.
Yeah.
They're just like, it's like dripping out of their mouth, and they're like, I'm like, do you even spit? And they're like, nope.
Yeah, I've met some of those characters.
Ooh,
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
it's hardcore.
Just like always have to dip in.
Mm-hmm.
Standard operating procedure.
Up north?
Oh yeah. The guys that I'd firefight with,
Yeah.
sometimes they'd have to bring like a full log
Uh-huh.
of tins,
Wow.
which is like 6 to 8 tins or
Holy
something.
shit.
And they'd need more than a log to get through like a 14-day work.
That's
session.
insane.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Just over a tin a day.
You know what though?
Wow.
Like the fucking dip that when I would do it would last a lot longer than a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, way longer. Yeah, it does. It lasts longer.
And for the price point, you're actually saving money
True.
at the risk of your face falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd the other half of your face go, bud? Can't dip anymore, bro.
I had one of those guys came and talked to us in high school. He like had all that fucking his jaw fucking cancer or whatever, and his like was missing his like face. And he like came to our high school and did like a fucking speech and was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
I went to high school in Saskatchewan, so I was like, "Yeah, don't dip, man." And that's we're all like, "Oh my god!" And then he like was at the lunch hall eating lunch, and we're all like,
And it's like falling out of the one side. Jesus Christ.
They're really getting us with their scare tactics right now. Like,
Straight.
holy fuck. Yeah.
Anybody want to go for a dip?
Straight up scared.
Yeah.
Didn't slow us down at all.
Yeah.
It's the only time I find myself dipping now. It's like I'll be in you get called up to play on a hockey team like once every like month-ish.
Nice.
And then like I'll sit down and one of the guys will have a tin and be like, hey,
Yeah.
a little pinsy poo. A little pince. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
And I'll just have a dip in the dressing room.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
It's like nostalgic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I do that at work all the time. Every time you'd have a dip, though, somebody'd be like, yo!
Yeah.
You packing a dip, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just see, like, tobacco chunks and red stains all over your job site.
Yeah.
It's fucking gross, because people spit it all over the material you're going to pick up and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the one cool thing I like about, like, working outside on a construction site, or, like, we didn't ever, like, one of the things when you're firefighting, you dip, it's because it's kind of like taboo to smoke cigarettes.
Right. I was thinking about that on the way here. I'm like, I kind of want a job with wildfire fucking firefighting. How do I get into that? And then I was like, but I can't smoke.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee I wouldn't want to smoke.
It, like, was a thing.
My grandpa was a
So,
fireman
like-
and he smoked.
Well, like,
I think they all
forest
smoked.
fire?
No.
Yeah, so in the
That's
forest,
different, yeah.
it was like, in like the 70s and 80s, they would all smoke. All of them smoked, none of them dipped. And then in the 90s, it like switched a bit. And now like everyone dips, no one smokes.
Wow.
One season, we imported guys from Ontario, and they like smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
It was kind of like weird. Everyone was like, "Ooh." First of all, you're coming from Ontario to BC as a firefighter. Everyone's already like, "Okay, you're pretty dusty." They're pretty dusty to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything.
And then so
So how do you even get into firefighting?
you just apply.
What made you want to get into it?
Fighting fire.
My buddy applied when we were in first year university. I had no idea what I was going to do that summer. So he was like, "Oh, I applied to like firefighting," and I was like, "Oh, how'd you do that?" And he showed me like the government website and the application form, and then I just like piggybacked his idea and applied. I applied on like the last day you were eligible to.
Hmm.
You gotta apply by like something like January 24th
Yeah.
to work in the summer.
Uh-huh.
Now,
I think that was our worst one yet.